Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Just recorded this whole video. If you don't know already, the A through Z playthrough is not about winning. It's about education. It's about a historical documentation of current events and from past to present. Shut up. And basically, I typically don't record a video more than once, but I am redoing this one because we had a person who just left at the beginning of the game in the last one, so my voice is already kind of sore. I was already kind of yelling, and now I get to do it all over again. But welcome to Arthas Minifil. He's the 5th character in our A through Tazdingo playthrough, and he is a warrior to be reckoned with. One of the oldest characters in the game in general, not even the oldest warrior, one of the oldest characters. A lot of people are saying that his model looks a little bit dated now. Personally, I don't mind it at all. I think it looks fine. And he got, I would say, a rework in 2016. They decided he didn't like it, and then they gave him another rework in 2017. The first time around, they did just remove a lot of generic talents, like he had Mercenary Lord, but this time he does have some quests that can help him scale up really, really well into the late game and make him a monster to deal with.
Frostborn hungers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the battlefield of eternity today. The friendly team, Arthas, the Butcher, Diva, Artanis, and Tazdingo. The enemy team, Alarak, Illidan, Garrosh, Kel'Thuzad, and Greymane. This one is going to be interesting. A lot of damage on each side, and honestly, a lot of immortal damage just in general on each side. This could be fun. This could be fun. At level 1, we are going to go for Frost Presence here. This is one of the best talents that Arthas has ever had, in my humble opinion. It took a lot of the talents that he used to have individually, like scattered throughout the different tiers, and just added them all into one talent. So if you go back and watch the previous year's A through Z playthrough and you know, see what we were doing on Arthas, this may sound familiar. So our W ability is our Howling Blast. This is simply a root that we target out on enemies. With Frost Presence, it will scale up the effectiveness of that root, however. So after hitting 5 heroes, Howling Blast cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds. After hitting 10 heroes, Howling Blast range is increased by 30%. And it's a long range, boys. And then after rooting 20 heroes, we actually root everyone in the path of the shit as well. Well, I mean, I was trying to leave. There we go. That'll work. Obviously not what I wanted there, but I don't know how to play against Garrosh at all. At all. I ban him every chance I get to in Hero League. I don't know how to play against this character. I think the general consensus is just don't go near him. Just stay away from him. But anyway, in the early game, you want to be in the lane with the most people in it. You want to land your roots constantly. That is your only goal in life. Landing roots. Cast it every time it's off cooldown. Try to make it happen. Be the hero your team needs. And if you can scale this up fast enough, your crowd control just goes through the roof, boys. You're all of a sudden, you're a CC machine versus certain heroes. Now, let's not get throwed too hard here, but I feel like we should also punish this Kel'Thuzad for pushing up. There we go. I like that. I like that. There's the root. Get out of there, bud. Get out of there. Come on, Dingo. There you go. There you go. All right, we are completely out of mana, so I'm going to be going back to the base. We do have some tools in our baseline skill set that help us retain our mana bar a little bit, although I have not been using them. I want to talk about our Q ability now. That is called Death Coil, excuse me. Death and Decay is Kel'Thuzad's. Death Coil, very interesting ability, and even though Arthas is one of the oldest heroes, we don't see anything like it anywhere else in the game. It is functionally a 2-part ability. So one part of it is dealing damage to an enemy hero if we choose to do that. It is just a simple point and click. You put it on them, you hit Q, and it'll shoot out a projectile that then deals a little bit of damage. Or we can cast it on ourselves as a small heal in the middle of battle. It does have a 9-second cooldown, and it's just one way that Arthas can become the tankiest thing in the known universe. At level 4, we are going to pick up the Frozen Waste talent, which is for our E ability. This is a quest where we simply have to channel our E ability on our enemies, and by doing so, we make our E ability better. It's a simple quest where you use it, and it becomes better. I like that. There's nothing complicated about it. So by just stacking this up versus our adversaries, we are going to allow the movement speed and attack speed debuff to last 1.5 seconds longer. I'll read the tooltip in a second. Looks like we did win the objective, and we're now pushing into enemy team territory. Can we land a root on anyone worth rooting? Well, he juked me, boys. He juked me. I do think the W ability is deceptively difficult to land simply because of the slight delay on it. So you shoot it out expecting it to do one thing, and then, well, I'm dead. God, I hate Garrosh. God, I wish I knew how to play against Garrosh. I have no idea. He just kills me all the time. And then if Garrosh is on my team, he just moves everyone out of my skill shots constantly. It's like there's no middle ground here. Anyway, I'll go soak the top lane. That's fine. Looks like the push is going pretty well here. We're likely going to get the fort with the help of that immortal. Greymane for the enemy team is up in the top lane. We'll go play with him. Oh, deal 51 damage per second to nearby enemies. Slow their movement speed by 10% per second, stacking up to 40%. Heroes hit have their attack speed slowed by 10% per second, stacking up to 40%, and it lingers for 1.5 seconds after the duration of the ability, or after someone gets out of the ability. So, if we do our quest, if we stack up our quest, essentially those debuffs last for 3 seconds rather than 1.5. Okay, boys, we're doing it. We're playing the video game now. We're cooking with gas. Let's just go ahead and root him. I don't think we win this trade, but I just need to stack up my stuff, so we'll poke at him in a little bit. He thinks we win the trade. That's an important part of winning trades. Well, shit. And that's why he thought he was going to win the trade. We're just dead anyway. Might as well get another attack in there. It's worth mentioning that I've never won a game on Arthas in the A through Z series. Never once, but I do think that this is the strongest version of Arthas that we have yet. I do think he's in a phenomenal place right now. At level 7, most people tend to go for Icebound Fortitude. This is a 35-second cooldown of an activatable ability, and that allows you to gain 25% armor, which is 25% pure damage reduction to spells and auto attacks, and reduce the duration of slows, roots, and stuns against Arthas by 75% for 3 seconds. But because this map has a lot of idle just attacking things, I am going to go for Rune Tap to keep myself alive. So every third basic attack is just going to heal me, which I'm sure you can figure out. That's pretty good. Oh, Illidan's going back in, boys. Let's sew down his auto attacks. Let's take him out. All right, I got to go hit stuff to get my health back though. We did go for Rune Tap, so every third hit will heal us. So watch this one. Look at that. Frostborn Hungers also counts as an auto attack. That is our trait. I learned this recently. Frostborn Hungers used to scale with auto attack damage. Now it just does flat damage. So if you have your auto attack damage nerfed, you can still count on a consistent proc from Frostborn Hungers. What does that mean? So like, let's say, oh God. Oh my God, I'm just getting thrown around. Let's say that the person you were attacking had block. So as you hit them, your auto attack damage is nerfed. Frostborn Hunger's damage used to also be nerfed, but now it's just, well, you hit him, so it's just going to deal that increased damage. I feel like half of our team was just kind of watching that fight happen, and Arthas managed to stay alive like a boss. I kind of feel like I'm being focused by the enemy team, but that is also my job as the tank, so I mean, I'm not that upset about it. I'm totally okay with them just focusing me. Another reason I wanted to go for Rune Tap here is simply because we will likely be going for Sindragosa, which means that we won't have the Army of the Dead to help us stay alive. I mean, half of our team just went to the top lane for nothing. We could have taken this and then gone to the top lane together and pushed with the Immortal in time. Shit! Teamwork! What is it? How's it work? I don't understand. Anyway, we are going to go for Sindragosa because it's almost like having a Sylvanas on your team. You can just go ahead, target this at all the buildings. It'll deal some damage too along the way. It'll set yourself up for a pretty decent initiation. And then, well, the building's not attacking you. So you're in a great spot there too. Our team can move in just fine, deal some pretty good damage here, hopefully secure a couple kills, and the Immortal gets more value because it's pushing into a building that is not trying to damage it in return. Great for sieging and PvE maps, great for maps like the one we're on, the Infernal Shrines, Spider Temple Tomb of the Spider Queen, that's what it's called. it allows your team to not necessarily need Sylvanas, but still get a lot of the same value that she would provide. And it's not on a terrible cooldown. I mean, it's kind of a long cooldown, but it's not terrible. I do think we should back up now, though. Looks like this is coming to an end pretty quickly. I'll go ahead and just hearth right here, and I think I'll be totally fine. So, I mentioned that last year in 2016, when was that? February, March, April, May? In May of last year, Arthas got his first rework. They cleaned up a lot of his generic talents, but more or less didn't change too much. They nerfed his health, they nerfed his health regen, and kind of buffed his death coil talents. So he was more or less just a character that would spam Q all the time, and that was how he would deal range damage as a warrior, which was kind of weird. And also how he would sustain in a lot of instances. That's how he would keep himself alive, with the constant healing off of his enemies. Good lamb there. Hopefully we can secure the kill on Illidan. Root going out is going to catch 2 members of the enemy team, and we are continuing this push forward. Never mind, I'm dead. Okay. All right. Okay. I think the butcher died too. All right. Great. And I have to be honest, that build of Arthas may have been effective, but it certainly didn't feel like Arthas. Arthas to me is this slow, lumbering, unyielding, kind of constant chase you down and kill you, kind of like the character in a horror movie, right? Everywhere you look, he's moving really slow, and you're constantly just running away to try to get away from him, but he still somehow catches up to you. And the death coil builds just didn't, it just didn't fit for me. It just didn't fit the character's theme, and I think Blizzard agreed. Because what we have now is a really condensed version of his old build, with the options to kind of do whatever you want as you progress into the late game. Now, this is the most common build, again, with the caveat of getting Icebound Fortitude. At least last time I checked, this is the most common build. Okay, let's root these guys. They are rooted. Our quest is ticking. I can't really move. I don't want to use Sindragosa here. Go ahead and root him. Get out of that. Get out of that. Start hitting this thing. We need to heal back up. Uh-oh. Arthas is going in pretty deep. Maybe we do want to use Sindragosa here. We might have to, boys. All right, let's turn that off for a second. I am going to go... Oh, I don't know, actually. Let's increase our Frozen Tempest damage. Oh, my God. No! I was stunned forever! I was considering going for Shattered Armor, which would lower the armor of anyone that we use this ability on, so we can burst them down a little bit quicker with our team. But I figured Biting Cold, I'm going to have our E ability up all the time anyway. Each second an enemy is damaged by Frozen Tempest, it deals 12.5% damage up to a 50% bonus. So as long as we can keep people in our E ability, we can basically just kill the shit out of them. Which sounds good to me. He needs to be careful. He's in there by himself. We could just push top lane while they're dealing with that. We have a little bit of time. I should have used Sindragosa in that fight, but I really did want to save it for a push. I know I've died a lot. I'm not a good Arthas player. You should know that by now. You should know that by now. Looks like we are slowly maneuvering down to the bot lane, which I don't quite understand. But we can disable these buildings. It actually has a lot of health left on it. And our team is starting to rally. Illidan rotating down from the top lane right now. Let's just go ahead and disable these. Go ahead and root Greymane as well. Hopefully we get some help killing him. So far, nothing. But I'm hitting him, team. Don't worry. Okay, team. No one helped me kill him, and he got away, but that's fine. No big deal. Oh, God, I walked into that. Holy shit. No. Oh, fuck me. Arthas used to have this talent called Resurgence of the Storm. This was back in the beta. A few warriors had it, but Arthas seemed to be the biggest problem with it. The original Arthas kit had things like, I want to say it had amp healing, but it probably didn't. But it definitely had Regen Master. He definitely had Rune Tap in there as well. He had Army of the Dead, which would heal him for a lot. And then he could build just super tanky, and then at level 20, get this Resurgence of the Storm talent. What that talent allowed Arthas to do was, if he died every 90 seconds, he could just resurrect. So what you had was an impossible to kill character out on the battlefield, but if somehow you managed to kill him, he would just pop back up and then run back into the fight probably before it was done, and then you'd have to kill him again. It made Arthas so bullshit broken, and I honestly think he was the biggest offender of just how strong that talent was, so it was removed from the game entirely. We're seeing a lot of these generic talents being removed over time, but that one was like the first to go. They were like, this is too strong. People are using it in every situation. It overshadows everything. There's no choice here. Keeps over forts, boys. Always keeps over forts. We do have Sindragosa. Let's get in a good spot and fire it off here. Right on the lamb as well. Dealing some extra damage. We can root these guys as they're running away. And finally take down Alarak. We did it, boys. We did it, boys. Doesn't seem like I can do too much more damage here, but we do end up killing Greymane, and I'm just going to hit this building to try to get some health back before we die. Oh my god, I lived through a fight. Did you see that? Did you see that? We are going to go for Remorseless Winter. Frozen Tempest can now root enemies. This makes Arthas even more formidable to deal with. So our quest at level 1 is complete. Our quest at level 4 is complete. So that means the attack slow and movement speed slowing effects of our abilities last even longer, right? It's just up all the time. And now, if we can actually keep our Frozen Tempest on a target, we're going to be rooting them in place as well, which makes it even easier to body block isolated targets. It makes it even easier to chase them down. And I gotta tell you, Arthas is terrifying with a good Lucio. Dude, Lucio! And that fucking movement speed boost is what's going on with my minimap right now. Oh, it was Headhunter, wasn't it? Oh no, don't leave me. No, 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 no. Sorry, team. Fuck it, Arthas. You're so... How do people play you? I don't get it. I just get owned all the time. I mean, on a mechanical basis, like I feel like I understand them, but... on an actual execution basis, I just feel like I die constantly, and it feels real bad. Looks like we may not win this Amort. Never mind, that nuke is going to zone these guys out real hard. Even though I'm dead, the friendly team doesn't appear to need me at the moment. Unfortunately, D.Va does go down. Artanis now chasing after Illidan. And, well, Garrosh is going to be able to slaughter the Dingo. Metamorphosis has been used. The Butcher should be helping Artanis, but instead he's walking around in circles. Evasion is up on Illidan, but they managed to take him down. The Unstoppable doesn't quite kick in for that Butcher charge. And Kel'Thuzad is able to get away, but it looks like we will win this Immortal. I take it back. 2 members of the enemy team are dead. 2 members of the friendly team are dead, but I barely count as a player, so hopefully our team can carry. Greymane is taken down instantly. You don't trade with the Butcher like that. What are you doing? We'll go ahead and grab these regen globes for Artanis. Never mind, he completely left. Let's hope he didn't want them. Let's hope he's not sadly disappointed. What else have I missed? He has baseline physical armor now, so Arthas does have that 10 physical armor. It used to be 15, but because of the Army of the Dead and the ability to sacrifice all these ghouls and keep yourself high on health. By the way, I didn't explain how that works. You summon a bunch of friends and then kill them off one at a time in order to keep yourself alive. It's real fucking Death Knighty. Our team not grouped at all right now, and we're pushing into the enemy's core, so this is a little scary. Sindragosa will not turn off these buildings, so I'll just go ahead and fire it off here as kind of a damagey thing to do. We'll go ahead and root those guys. Unfortunately, we already lost the Butcher. So I'm just going to move in and I'm going to start hitting the core. And we're going to hope for the best. Look at that. We're being focused. 2 and a guest and take it down almost instantly. Just hit it. Kill the core. No, never mind. Never mind. We got it, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. So, don't learn how to play Arthas from me. Probably get into the game and learn how to play him yourself, because if you didn't notice, I'm really bad at it. I'm really bad at it. But we broke our losing streak with Arthas Menafil. Finally won a game on the A through Z. That feels pretty good. I'll vote for Artanis. He was doing stuff. Did I miss anything else? At one point, they lowered his health points It was when they gave him the physical armor. So they gave him the 15 physical armor, lowered his health regen, and then decided that that was too big of a nerf. So they gave him that health back. They gave him the health regen back, but then nerfed the physical armor. It was like they can't make up their mind on the quite what the right values are. But shit, it must be hard. It must be hard. Talents we went for in today's video: Frost Presence, Frozen Waste, Rune Tap, Summon Sindragosa, Biting Cold, Remorseless Winter, and then at level 20, I likely would have gone for the upgrade to Sindragosa had I actually picked that talent. If you're going to run this build, you need a healer on your team. That's what I learned here. In the last game I played where we had the lever, I ended up actually topping damage on our team by just constantly walking in and using Army of the Dead to keep me alive. As you can see, this game, I spent most of the game fucking dead, unfortunately. But you never know. That's how the dice fell this time. That's how the cookie crumbled. Up next, we are going to have Ariel, formerly one of the strongest characters in the game, but just received a pretty hefty nerf that have a lot of people questioning whether or not she's even worth picking anymore. Is she? Find out on tomorrow's episode of the A through Z playthrough.